What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Tactix, and I'm a little under the weather today. Um, kind of cold, but it's totally my fault. I got the bright idea to fall asleep naked with the window open, which is not too smart. I don't know why. I just had an urge to sleep naked. I wanted to know what it was like, and I can't really explain why the window was open. But yeah, that didn't end up being too good for me. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Now, first of all, I want to apologize. I know I haven't really been all that active on YouTube lately. As you guys know, the reason for that is because I've been preparing for Project Power, the web series. We finally have a excuse me. We finally have a shoot date. June 30th is when we start shooting. Storyboard's done, script is done, everything is good. So props are being shipped to my house. So everything's coming together. Well, hopefully everything comes together. We haven't really started yet, but yeah. So my apologies for not making any new content for you guys. But once the craziness kind of subsides a little bit, I will get back to making more comedy vids for you guys. It's just a lot of preparation, man. But anyway, I'm getting too off topic, and I don't want to start this beginning of the video talking about my shit. The last video that I believe I posted, or the second last video, I don't really remember which one, but someone had wrote or asked me a question, somewhat loosely based off of what I was talking about in my last video, or maybe it wasn't my last video. Anyway, fuck it. Basically, the question was, what are my opinions on sex before marriage? Now, obviously, you guys know me. You know that I've done the whole sex before marriage thing. I do it. I have sex. You know, I'm not married. But my opinions on it, it's tough to say. I mean, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I was actually talking to a friend of mine a while back about this very same question, and he's a Christian fellow, and him and his girlfriend have been together for quite some time, and you know, he has sinned. He has had sex several times, and he too is also not married. But a couple months back, we were having this conversation, this discussion, and I think I actually asked him the question. I'm like, yeah, like what's what's the whole deal with the whole sex before marriage thing? Like, explain that to me. Like, what, like, because my thought was like, what if I meet someone who I think I can see a future with this person, right? We're not married yet, but I don't wait till marriage to have sex with her or engage in intercourse, if you will. But you know, I see a foreseeable future with this person. Chances are it might not go that way, but I mean, like much like marriage, you know, nothing. Sometimes things aren't, you know, forever, and you know, things change. So for the time being, for the, like, you know, that I with this person, you know, I see a future with her, and we have sex before marriage, right? Like, why is that so bad? And he was saying that because, like, you know, marriage, yes, obviously marriage, you know, nothing is forever, and you know, the divorce rate is so high. You know, not like it's marriage has become more of a business in a sense. So like, people are just kind of getting married just for the hell of it, and not really for the true essence of what it stands for. But I mean, for those who actually do embrace all that encompasses the matrimonial aspect of marriage, you know what I mean? Like, that is it's intended to be forever. Like, when you marry that person, it's like you're building a pair bond. You're building like a unity with this person, and it's supposed to be forever, till death do you part, as the saying goes, right? And realistically, like in the Bible, and don't quote me verbatim, but I mean they say like you shouldn't engage in, like, you shouldn't have multiple sex partners or whatever like that. It doesn't. I don't know. I don't think it says that. But I think it's implied or whatever. I don't know. I don't really read the Bible, but basically the whole principle is like you're supposed to only be with one person because the whole purpose of sex is to procreate and repopulate and stuff like that. And he says that when you have multiple, like, let's say for example you're not bonded through marriage by this person, so there's not really much of a obligation for that person to stay. In marriage, yes, there's the divorce, but there's a lot more stuff that you have to deal with if you want to separate from this person, as opposed to just, hey, well, shit isn't working out, let's just go our separate ways. And it's easy. You don't have to go through any legal stuff to detach yourself from this person, right? So in that sense, like, let's say you start dating this person, you guys have sex, things don't work out. It's so easy for you to sever your ties with this person, and then you go and you meet someone else, and it's the same thing. You date this person, you have sex, things don't work out, sever your ties. It is what it is, right? It's so easy to just walk away from a situation, rather, as opposed to like being married to this person, saying, okay, these things aren't working, so now we got to get lawyers, we got to go through like a year worth of all this bullshit with divorce and stuff, and if we have kids on top of that, that's a whole nother set of issues and stuff. You know what I mean? Now the point I'm trying to get to basically is that with the first example, where it's like where you're not like legally bonded with this person, and it's so easy for you to just like separate your ties with this person. The thing is, with that, when you keep engaging in sexual activities with a person that you're not married to, and you can just easily walk away from it, because you have so many notches under your belt, now, like let's say you have sex with girl number one, it doesn't work out, then you meet girl number two, or guy for the ladies, but you use girl number two, you have sex with girl number two, and then now you're comparing girl number two to girl number one. Like, for example, let's say girl number one gave you like the dopest blowjob, like she tickled your balls, rotated the prostate, all that shit, and just like, stuck her thumb in your asshole and all this stuff, like just did some crazy wild shit that you were really into. And then girl number two didn't really do any of that shit. Now you're gonna, like, it's you subconsciously compare this person, because you're not like, now it's like, okay, well, everything is great, but I'm not happy sexually, you know what I mean? And you guys, like, now because you have that comparison, it's like it's always like a endless battle for that person, for that other person, for the girl, because she doesn't even know it yet, but she doesn't even know it, but she's in competition with all the previous girls that you've been with, or for the ladies, all the previous guys that you've been with. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the problems lie, because people put so much emphasis on sex. And like, I'm not gonna lie, like, sex, because I'm sexually active, sex is an important part of a relationship to me, whereas a Christian would beg to differ. You know what I mean? Like, sex isn't the foundation of a relationship. You know what I mean? A relationship starts first, and you build a pair bond with the person on an emotional and a spiritual level. The sex comes after, and the sex is used. It's there's more emphasis on the actual sharing and that intimate moment with that person, as well as creating something together. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are losing your virginity together, and you're also creating a new life and all that stuff, the way it was intended to be. And so I think that's what he was trying to come across. Like, that's what he was trying to convey to me, and I kind of understand it. Unfortunately, like, for me, it's a little different now, because like I said, I'm not a firm believer in the sex, waiting till marriage to have sex, obviously, or whatever. But I do understand that concept. I do understand it. I respect it. But I mean, that's my take on it. I'm running out of time, so I can't really elaborate any further than that. But let me know what your thoughts are on the subject in the comment section down below. I'm your boy Tactix. Peace, and I'm out.